back in January, I was just so done with everything. I didn't know where to turn next because I didn't want to be on more medication. I didn't want to be on other things. And now I'm like, I feel great.
So welcome everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today. We have Judith, who just came through working with us for the past few months and has a really incredible story to share with us. So thank you so much, Judith, for joining us today.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about what you were struggling with prior to getting started.
Severe migraines, definitely around cycle, and then hit and miss all over the whole month, and going through like a half a pack to a pack of Imitrex a month type thing.
Got it. How long were you struggling with that for?
I've had migraines since my 20s, and I'm 50 now. So they just kept getting progressively worse and worse. So, especially over, I'd say, the last 8 years. So.
Okay. And was it mostly medication that you were trying to help alleviate it, or had you tried other things as well in the past?
Medication, acupuncture. I tried chiropractic, but it freaks me out. I had tried vitamins, changing up different vitamins. I'd done a little bit of herbal, but I didn't have the combination of everything else to really support the herbal. So.
Right. And working with us, what were a few of the things that we worked on together that you feel like really helped move you in the right direction?
Definitely the realizing of how everything around me impacts my body. Not just the fact that, oh, I know there's a storm system coming, so I need to be aware, but realizing that what I put in my mouth, and just kind of how I go about my day creates that whole impact, I think, are the big thing. It's that holistic look that I've been looking for years. So.
Right. And so how are you feeling these days? Like what's going on with your headaches?
My last cycle, I had no headache. I have, gosh, I would say probably in the last 6 weeks, I haven't taken but one Imitrex, and that was probably my fault, based on food and all the things that I knew I wasn't supposed to do that I did the day before. So, but anytime that I've had a headache, it's gone away. Like we've had massive thunderstorms rolling through this past week. Not a headache, nothing. And look, I can push on my shoulders. I don't know if you can see this, Jonathan.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit. You were saying how soft your shoulders were. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, they're down. So, and normally they were in my ears, I think. So,
oh, really? So you were holding on to some tension in your shoulders.
Oh, massive. So Greg used to look at me and go, "Holy cow!" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's the spot."
And so you've seen dramatic changes in the quality of how they feel.
Yeah, even like carrying a backpack, and like even the straps of my bra don't feel like they're cutting in anymore because it's not so high, and the muscles aren't just like this. So it's really nice.
That's amazing.
I didn't know I was going to get.
And how many times a week were you taking the medication prior to working with us?
I don't know, because the Imitrex kind of came in waves, but I would say that I would go through a half of a box to a box a month, and I think there's 9 or 10 pills in there. And then I would be supplementing with Tylenol and Advil too, so it was pretty consistent. I would say there were probably 4 to 5 days a week I was taking something.
And now?
I don't remember, except for the Imitrex, the last time I took something.
Wow.
So I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, I'd say so. Amazing. So if you had one piece of advice to give someone who was considering getting started and was on the fence, what would you tell them?
It's hard work, but it was worth every bit of it. And things that I didn't realize were complaining in my body were complaining. that when I started doing some of the movements and other things and really changing my mindset, that it completely changed everything. I think if you had talked to me back in January, I was grumpy. I've always been a glass half full, but I think back in January, I was just so done with everything. I didn't know where to turn next because I didn't want to be on more medication. I didn't want to be on other things. And now I'm like, I feel great. I'm happier. I don't fuss at my kids as much. So I would say if you're finding that you're in the position where you really don't know where else to turn, I would say jump on and try it. And work with Greg and Jonathan and see where you go, because they were kind of one of my, oh, well, I guess I'll give it a shot. I've given everything else a shot. I hope this is the final solution. And now I'm like, woohoo, yay. So.
That's so amazing to hear. Honestly, that's exactly what we put this together for. And we couldn't be any more happy for you, Judith. And yeah, and we just look forward to continuing to see your progress moving forward. And thank you so much for sharing with us today.
You're welcome.